Hey folks, this is Beginning16 here. Welcome back to another video on my development channel. Today, I'm going to go over what you all need to know about Knightlordian RPG's version 3.30 update. That basically is the Rework Part 4, basically it being the last part of the rework. And yeah, after 4 months, the rework has finally been finished, honestly. That includes basically everything in the game that was here previously is back in the game, so that's technically what's, but that's basically TLDR. But we made us a few things here. For example, we have a lot of new things here to go over today with Rework Part 4, and it adds a lot to Redcliffia and Splintered Heavens, not just the fact that they've been re-added back in, and because with the new system and all that. But you may also notice that Redcliffia looks a little bit different. You may be wondering why. Well, did you notice that this is a different map? I mean, I feel you have, honestly, because you might play it already, but in case you haven't, basically, Redcliffia has a new map revamp, which is probably one of the, which I believe is kind of what many people came here for, honestly, so, but yeah, anyways, but we'll get into that later, but, yeah, that being said, let's get right into it, but before we can begin, if you guys want to take a look at the game yourself, then be sure to take a look at the link down below. But anyways, we'll worry about that later, Anyways, so we're going to start things off with what this adds and what everything is. So, yeah, Redcliffia has fully been revamped with a new map and all that stuff. The old map was... it did not look too well, honestly. In my opinion, it was a bit... It was crazy. Not crazy, but it was crazy how I thought it looked good, but it really wasn't. So, I decided to get some help from Takeo, who was pretty good with terrain from what I heard from Suave, a developer of Devil's RPG, so I decided to ask him if he could help with some of the maps for Empire 5, and he did pretty good, honestly. So and then we'll be going over all that today in this video. So stay tuned. But yeah, let's get started with the first area, which we're already here. So this is the Redcliff Village. Redcliff Village isn't really much new, honestly. I mean, you have how we had these poles before, same with the houses and trees and all that stuff. But Redcliffia does have some, but it does look a lot better, honestly. It just adds a feature, and I also love the archway. The archway looks amazing too. So yeah, the format is kind of the same. It's just the map looks a bit different. So yeah, it's just a lot bigger. So yeah. Anyways, this is the Redcliff Knights and all that stuff. So, you know, typical what you see for the Redcliff Village and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm sorry for speaking a fast voice. I'm just excited, honestly. Anyways, and yeah, and the Redcliff children just spawn here. So, yeah, all those bosses are back and all that stuff. Yeah. And yes, Rainer from the False Sentius is back too. Everything from Empire 5, Empire 6 is back. So, you pretty much should expect to see what's back, honestly. So, yeah. Anyways, that's Redcliff Village for you. Redcliff Village is a lot more different. But we're gonna go to the JD Grasslands? No, it's not JD Grasslands. It's the JD Outskirts. Basically, the place where you see all the rebels at and all that stuff. So, you know, these guys with like the swords and stuff like that. So, pretty cool, I guess. Pretty cool. So, so you may notice that this is kind of like it has the same map. It's kind of the same format as like the maps are like the same format where basically like. I guess the paths are the only thing that would change that we kind of increase the size a bit and just made it a lot better. But the format of the original of the entire area of the entire map is technically the same. So we're nothing new there. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, anyways, now that we got that, let's move to the Emerald of Forest. The Emerald of Forest is a lot more different, honestly, in my opinion. Probably my favorite areas I've done so far. Especially the stumps. Stumps look pretty cool. But anyways, it's a lot more. So here's the thing what we did here. So we had the scouts back. Yes, the scouts are back. Pretty much. That hood looks corrupted. Anyways, yeah, that hood looks weird. But yeah. So we did add those guys back. We also have the hunter as well. The typical hunter, who instead of doing a weird ability with his arrows, he just shoots arrows now at you instead of the ability he has is just shoot an arrow. Like what kind of bullshit like. Let me get straight. He basically shoots an arrow as an ability. Like, what type of bullshit is that? But yeah. He basically would shoot a beam at you as an ability, but now he's just a range mob that shoots arrows. Typical for a normal mob, typical for a range mob like that. But yeah. So that's pretty cool. Then we got the Redcliffe archers who are like okay. So here's the thing. The truth is that the Redcliffe scouts just it didn't fit well having the Redcliffe scouts drop the bow. So I decided to make a new mob called the Redcliffe archer. And I'm not sure why I was thinking when I first made this empire in the first place, because I didn't have these guys made before. These guys have just been added into the rework. We're added this update, so which is kind of crazy. So yeah, oh, he's gonna come in once more. Can you die already? Thank you. And he just shoot me an arrow. Oh my god. Okay, that's disgusting. But yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much the Redcliffe Emerald Forest for you. I will also mention that the Redcliffe Forest Mega Boss in here, aka the Dark Redcliffe Knight, was replaced by a Redcliffe Overseer. Okay, not Redcliffe Overseer, but more so the Redcliffe Seer. Mainly because the Dark Redcliffe Knight just didn't do too well, and technically Redcliffe Dark Knight is already in the game already still, but not really. You would have to see that. You know what I mean if you saw super bosses, because when super bosses kind of like the Redcliffe Knight Dark Knight, but not really. It's whatever, honestly. But it's whatever, honestly. People say it's like a very retextured Redcliffe Dark Knight or something like that, but it's not really, honestly. If anything, the retextured Redcliffe Dark Knight, aka the memory, Redcliffe memory super boss is a lot better, honestly. So, I'm happy that, so that's what pretty much why will let me to replace the Redcliffe Dark Knight with the Redcliffe Seer. And he drops these things, am I correct? I think I have them still. They're called Redcliffe, wait, no, that's not, where is it? Redcliffe Daggers right here. These are the weapons they drop, so yeah, pretty cool, I guess. So yeah, it's just that, honestly. So yeah, now that we got that out of the way, let's move to the next area, which is actually I don't think it's Emerald Forest. I think it's actually I don't think it's JD Campgrounds yet. I think the next area was JD Grasslands. Oh wait, what was the point of me going there when I could just go there? Yeah, JD Grasslands has been moved here, so. Yeah, now JD Grasslands is a lot better. Yeah, we got the orcs, the orcs with the fins and all that stuff. Mohawk with it's an interesting Mohawk. I will admit that much. It's almost like the Mohawk is part of its body instead of the hair. Really weird, but it is what it is. So, yeah, I like it. Anyways, so we got ourselves the Forgotten Orc. The Forgotten Troll still is here. Still, he's been replaced. He still has his torch as usual. You know, with the whole fire and all that. So, yeah, and it took me a bit of and a lot of people have wanted me to fix the burn damage. For those who don't know, the burn damage was incredibly broken back then. But now, you should get his levels when you kill him. So basically, see right there, see the burn damage the burn damage will now make us that it actually counts as the damage you dealt to them. So, yeah, pretty much. Now that's that. And next up we got the Forgotten Orc Chief, pretty much. So it's DK hasn't been changed all except for his. He pretty much now is in the Rework, honestly. So yeah, and then we got ourselves this spawn point. You may wonder what the hell this spawn point is, and it was like, you may wonder what this spawn point is. Well, basically, for those who need an explanation, basically there was an update in Knightlordian RPG before this word came out, called the Forgotten Wrath. Spoiler alert, he is the Emerald Wrath who spawns every 24 hours, and a lot of people be like, wait, there's an Emerald Wrath, a Forgotten Wrath? And yeah, a lot of people might have forgotten it, or some people might have actually, they have never noticed it, so. Wow, even I forgot what I was going to say. Funny how that works. But yeah, the Forgotten Wrath does spawn, this is where he spawns, so. I feel like it'd be a cool thing to have, because, a lot of people have been wondering where the hell he spawns and where the hell he's going to spawn in the rework, and this is where he spawns. So, yeah, you got the time, and you got your computer is fully charged, and it won't crash, and I'm not sure if your electricity bills are paid. Then you should have a fun time and have a fun time waiting for it. But if you don't want to, then hey, that's alright too. Honestly, you don't have to. Honestly, I'm just saying he's just there if you want to. Just want to say he's just there if you want to. It's not like it's important. It's not like he's required for anything. But, I mean, if you want to use it, then go ahead. Also, why is it just me, or is... Also, why is, hang on. Is it just me, or is... Hold on. Give me a second real quick. I need to check something real quick. Let me check. Okay, that was a weird bug, but, apparently I might have to... There's going to be some glitch with the health bar. Apparently my health was stuck at 99%, which I'm not sure why, but apparently it was. But yeah, I'll have to fix that at some point. But yeah, that's the JD Grasslands for you. Or no, yeah, the JD Grasslands guy right for this time. So yeah, anyways, moving on to the next area, which is the JD the JD campgrounds. The JD campgrounds is pretty much the place where you find the Redcliff Ninja, who just spawned right now, or I think spawned a couple minutes ago or something like that. Yeah, so let's go and kill him real quick just for the fun of it. So yeah, the JD campgrounds is a lot more better, a lot more spaced out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure it just feels like more of a campground area that people would go to, I guess, to chillax. Those people being the Redcliff areas, and yeah, the Redcliff guys. So, and if you guys are planning on relaxing here, then I don't think they'll be happy with that because they're mobs, and what do you expect from mobs? Mobs will kill you for anything, honestly. And yeah, it doesn't matter if you piss them off or not; they'll still attack you because that's just how it is, honestly. And I mean, think about it. The mobs didn't do anything at one point, and now they do something because they're tired of just standing around being killed all day. Like, come on, think about it, But still. But yeah, that's basically the Redcliff Commander. Oh yeah, the Redcliff Commander does drop armor now, I think. Oh yeah, well he's always had armor, but I kind of redid his armor a bit. It was originally like yellow arms and a red legs and red torso and red helmet. How I kind of not red. It was basically just the core blocks meshed with the Redcliff Dominus head. How I decided to redo it and make this. And I decided to go with... I decided to texture the core blocks a bit and go with a Redcliff type of theme with it. And it took me a couple of tries, but I finally got it. I think it took me like around 3 tries or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's basically the Redcliff Commander and the JD Grassland, the JD Campgrounds. Oh my gosh, so many JDs, honestly. But yeah, that's pretty much the JD Campgrounds for you. So yeah, next up is the Redcliff. Let me see. No, it's not Redcliff. It's the next area is the Golden Desert. Okay, Golden Desert is an interesting couple of areas. So for those who don't know, yes. Okay, for those who don't know, the Golden Desert was originally it was bland, honestly. So it didn't really it lacked a lot of theme into it until now, as you can tell here. So basically, what the fuck on? Oh yeah, that's a bug I have to fix, honestly. Yeah, that's a bug I have to fix. But basically, it has to do with zones. The zones are really glitchy here, so I'll fix that. I'll fix that soon. But yeah, that's anyway. So yeah, we got ourselves this is the atmosphere of the Golden Desert. So yeah, it gives a lot more of that desert angelic vibe. If that makes any sense. Not sure why it would be combined into 2 areas. But I'm not sure, but I guess that's what I think when I think of Empyrean. When I think of Empyrean, I also think of desert alongside with angels and stuff like that. And yeah, that's where this area came in when it comes to this type of atmosphere. So yeah, this is the JD. This is the Golden Desert. And next up is the Golden Desert Part 2. So now the Golden Desert Part 2 is a bit bigger and all that stuff. Kentucky mainly was the one who made this area. So he was the one that did all these structures and all that stuff, which I must say is really amazing. So shout out to him. Like this whole part of the Rework would not have been possible without him, honestly. So yeah, that's that. So next up is Manix, the Golden Emperor. Basically, the boss who was originally here is still here. How he looks a lot more different because of the atmosphere stuff. Oh yeah, and also the boss. Okay, and also like the boss up parts. I'm not sure. I think I did that earlier, but yeah. Anyway, so the Emperor of Goldem himself hasn't really changed much. He's still the same ability set from before. I just kind of made the coding a bit more. I just made the coding less messy, if that makes any sense. Because actually, it just didn't look messy. It looked messy before, and I just feel like it looks better, honestly, in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, everyone has their own different opinions on stuff, and their own different perspectives on coding and all that stuff. But to me, I think it looks a lot more. I think the coding is a lot better. But yeah, so yeah, you may notice that he also shoots out these beams too when he slashes. He's always been able to do that. It's just that many people have never noticed that he had these abilities in the first place. A lot of people came to me saying, "Well, I didn't know you had abilities into this guy now." Which I mean, the truth is, he always had abilities. I'm just shocked that people never noticed that. So, yeah, but that's pretty much Manix Emperor Golden for you. And yeah, he draws a Flame Halberd and also has an armor as well, which basically is the Empyrean armor. Wait, that's not Empyrean armor. Where's the Empyrean armor? Here it is. The Empyrean armor plus the Empyrean armor. So yeah, it's pretty much the normal armor that you find in And sure, I was just so for those who don't know, I was inspired by a Field of Battle for the Empyrean armor helmet and all that stuff. If you don't know Field of Battle, then you're not. Then you don't know classic Roblox. But for those who know Field of Battle, then you probably know where this helmet and armor set is coming from. But yeah, anyways, that's Golden for you. Also, yes, the Golden General. No, not sorry. The Golden Guardian and well, no, not the Golden Guardian. The Empyrean Guardian and Empyrean King do spawn in both these areas combined. Part 1 and Part 2. So that's basically Golden Desert for you. So pretty cool sub area, if I do say so myself, or pretty cool like dead end area, I guess. So yeah, it was really underappreciated. I feel like I underappreciated the concept of it. So I decided to give it a better look to what it would have been, what could have been better. So yeah, well, then again, Takeo was the one who did it, but okay, Takeo did honestly. I just feel like it needed a rework, and Takeo did it, and Takeo did amazing. So great job to him, honestly. So yeah. Next up is the Roblox Refuge. Roblox Refuge is the place where you find the Roblox Knights and all that stuff. So yeah, I still have the ice as usual. Although instead of ice hills, like it originally was, we have now ice. We have now like these ice circles with like crystals near them, where they have crystals and stuff. It's kind of like some type of corruption thing, if that makes any sense. Like the undead is rising or some shit. I don't know. But yeah, anyways, got the Roblox Knights. The Roblox General is here too. I will keep that in mind. And I decided to make the Roblox General drop not required for the finale because a lot of people, I remember a lot of people complaining about how the General even though it was common, it was still kind of a pain in the ass to get his drop, which was the Redcliffe key. If I'm correct, let me check. Redcliffe. I think, yeah, the key of Redcliffe. The key of Redcliffe was required for the finale, and at the time I feel like a cool idea. But looking at it now, it was kind of a weird idea. It really wasn't the best idea. So I decided to make the finale not require anything, so except for the levels. That's all I'm gonna say. And of course, the next HP seems to be bugged again. You all know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that because I don't know what the hell's going on, but clearly something's up. But yeah, anyways, that's that. So next up is the Roblox Knight. So there's no boss here yet. But yeah, well, of course it's a boss. But yeah, okay. So we're not in the next area just yet. But yeah, anyways, next up is the Azeroth Ice Plains. So all right, goodbye, Katie's. All right, so this is the Azeroth Ice Plains, which is the first area we actually made, or first area Takeo made in the revamp. And this was and the concept was amazing. Like for the first area, I think it looks amazing, honestly. So yeah, you may notice that Azeroth spawned 2 times in a row. I'm not sure if that's a bug or not, but I'm gonna have to look into it. I might be lucky. I don't know. But basically, Azeroth spawns here, much like the Emerald Raft spawn point. So yeah, basically, you may notice that all the rafts, with like Crimson Raft, Azure Raft, Emerald Raft, Wood Raft, all those rafts have their spawn points listed now. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, that's cool. I will say that too. So yeah. Then we got ourselves the man himself, Blizzera, the Frozen. I may have butchered his name. I really apologize for that. But yeah, that's that. So next up is the Crimson Raft Helllands. The Crimson Raft Helllands, and it's kind of big, but yeah, it's pretty damn hellish, I guess, if I do say so myself. It kind of the green atmosphere somehow matches with the red quite a bit. I'm not sure how it matches so well, but apparently it does. I guess because it's pastel. I don't know, man. It's weird. But yeah. Anyways, this is where Crimson Raft spawns, as you can tell here, because it's spawn point. I mean, at this point, you pretty much get it with most of the areas at this point. So yeah. Pretty much on all the path of the rafts. Pretty much on all the areas in the path of the rafts, which I would call this area. I can pretty much call this section the path of the rafts. That was what it originally was called in the update. When all these 3 areas were released. So yeah. Anyways, next up is Helgara the Doombringing. Right here. So this is Helgara Doombringing. He drops his Amok Sword as usual. And yeah. Now, that away, let's move to the next area, which is the Void Raft Valley. Now, Void Raft is probably another one of my favorite areas, especially because of the atmosphere. Apart from Golden Desert, this is another area, but this is the only area that has the atmosphere, apart from Golden Desert, like I mentioned earlier. And yeah, let's take a look at it, shall we? And this is Void Valley. And oh my god, this space looks insane. But yeah. Anyways, this is Void Valley with the Galactic Knight as usual. And yeah. I'm not sure why. I just felt like adding the atmosphere because I'm sure we had the tools too. And all that stuff. So yeah. Anyways, this is where he spawns, you know, Void Ref himself. So that's where he spawns if you want to know how to get him stuff. And yeah. Next up is the Dark Seed, the Fallen, right here. So this is Dark Seed, the Fallen. He drops, as usual, his Corrupted Demonic Sword. And yeah, not really much there, but hey, I mean, that's that. So yeah, I guess so. Now, next up are the last few areas, which is the main area to the finale. Now, this is probably my favorite area, my favorite path of them so far. Mainly because it's how it looks, honestly. So this is the Jade Grass Campground, as you can tell here. So we're gonna go straight if we can get there. I don't know. We're just gonna go. Let's just go straight to the the Redcliffe Gate. That way we can. Let's go Redcliffe. Yeah, correct. So we're gonna go to the Redcliffe Gateway, and yeah, this is Redcliffe Gateway, and we have ourselves the guards. And yes, and before asking, in case you guys are curious, yes, the man himself, the Angel of Bloxon, Matt Dusk, does spawn here as well. Matt Dusk spawns right here, who was originally the Ultra Boss, but he isn't really as strong as the other Ultra Bosses compared to what they were before. I mean, yeah, he is stronger than yours, but at the same time, I mean, since Empire 5 is kind of a small, like a really small type of empire, and one of the smallest empires in the game currently. And probably gonna be that way probably gonna be that way until the end of the game. I think it's probably gonna be that way for now or forever, honestly. So yeah, because I don't plan on making a small empire than this, honestly, because I think like the design just beats it, honestly. But yeah. Anyways, Matt just spawned here along with Sherlock Times and all that stuff. So Sherlock Times just spawned here as well, and then of course she spawned. Funny, I was actually about to go to the area that she was spawned at, aka the Redcliffe Wargrounds. So yeah, the Redcliffe Duke does drop his Heartbreaker as usual. And yeah, next up is the Gateway. Or next up is the Next up is the War Grounds. The War Grounds is... So yeah, we already saw the castle here, by the way, in case you're wondering. This castle is also made by Takeo, so a shout out to him, honestly, too, which I would not believe. But I just can't believe, honestly. I just can't believe how much effort he put into the areas itself, honestly. So I really just am thankful to have him help out a lot. So yeah. Anyways, we got ourselves the X-Men. The X-Men do have do drop the Viking armor as usual. I did actually at one point. I think at one point the Viking armor was undroppable. But I was able to fix it at some point. But yeah, there's that. There are a lot of bugs when the game was released, so I had to do a patch just to fix some things, as you can tell from here. But yeah, anyways, next. So yeah, this is the Redcliffe Axe, or the Redcliffe Viking, who has a dual Redcliffe Axe and all that stuff. So, and then this is also, by the way, this is where Cliffa spawns. Cliffa spawn. Wait, no, that's not Cliff. That's not Cliffy. That's Cliffa. Cliffa is the prince. Cliffy is the princess. Never mind. I'm so sorry. But yeah, so she spawns there. Just thought I'd mention that too. But yeah, next up is the Redcliffe Lands of Royal. This is basically the area where the commanders are at, or where the Redcliffe guards are at, and same with the enforcer. Now, I think I like these guys look a lot more better because originally they had like the elite commander type of look, but as you can tell from the hat. But now it looks a lot more royalish, if you ask me. It doesn't look like something that was copy and pasted, honestly, and made into a shirt template, which was what it was originally. So yeah, it was weird. It was weird at the time. So yeah, that's the Redcliffe Royal Guard for you. But yeah, now that out of the way, let's move to the Enforcer, and we'll go from there. I would go over the sewer bosses, but the sewer bosses I've already went over to the sewer bosses before, so there's really nothing new with them. But yeah, we'll go over them too. But yeah, we got the Redcliffe Enforcer as well, and yeah. Next up is the Redcliffe Watchers, and we're just gonna go and kill those guys just for the hell of it. So these are the Redcliffe Watchers, and you know, the typical mobs that were originally in Redcliffe Temple. Which, by the way, this was originally Redcliffe Temple, but I changed it to Redcliffe Hideout because the Redcliffe Temple, it did not fit well. I tried building a actual temple with the terrain, It was, I cannot tell you how it looked. It did not look too well. If you were an OG, I'm sorry that you had to suffer from that shit. But hey, it's whatever. I mean, we all change, we all go through those phases and all that stuff. But yeah. Anyways, we also got the statues as well. Very similar to Cosmic Fallen, Star Q. I would say I can't. Basically, the person that was bred, I think. Yeah. And then there's Takeo, the map boys who made the revamp, and yeah. I mean, yeah. So pretty much so. Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and finish this up with the finale, which is nothing really new, honestly. He's always had these abilities and stuff, but yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and kill this guy real quick, and yeah, this is Tox, the original person that was in the original finale from Vampire 5, still here as usual. So yeah, and I believe he has abilities too, if I'm correct. Yeah, he does have abilities right there. So that's basically him. So for those who don't know, in case again you haven't played Knightlordian in a few years or something like that, which by the way, welcome back, OG. But basically, Tox has been given abilities for Empire, because he originally just had a copy and paste blast from that was basically added from Charmian, and it just didn't fit too well. So I decided to ask Barbarian, the person who made the abilities, with the abilities, and this is what he made. I was like, he wanted to contribute to the game somehow, and he made this. Not just that weird fire rampage tornado type of thing, but also I think a mirror spell if you'd been willing to show that too, honestly. But not sure. Okay. He looks like he's spamming this shit, but yeah. Yeah, he also does like a mirror spell too, but that's always been in the game. I didn't really mention it before, so yeah. Now that's about it. So next up is let's get you go over to Super Boss real quick, just for hell of it. There's really none of them have changed much. But at this point none of them really has changed. So yeah, if you guys want to take a look at Super Boss yourself, feel free to. You're more than welcome to. I mean, you're pretty much gonna have to. You might as well, honestly, because they're a cool pastime. So next up, so now we're gonna move on to Empire 6, which is the 6th Empire. Now, Empire 6 doesn't really have many changes, honestly, but it does have a few different changes. So yeah, we're gonna go and play Empire 6 just for the hell of it. So yeah, Empire 6 does have some changes, but it's not really that noteworthy. But I guess I will go over them now since we are kind of here. So yeah, this is Empire 6. Now, Empire 6, you may remember. Now, yeah, we're finally back at Empire 6. Oh my god, it feels good to be back here, honestly. But yeah, before I go any further, I just want to show you guys a quick revamp real quick on a sword that Takeo made. Takeo made a revamped version of the Redcliff Classical Blade right here. So yeah, he made a revamped version of the Redcliff Classical Blade. It kind of was needed, honestly. I'm going to admit this right now. It was needed. It was really needed. So, yeah. Thank you, Takeo, for your support. Or, not support, but thank you for the help you've given. Thank you for the contributors. Well, not contributors. Actually, no. Well, no. Actually, just thank you for helping out. I appreciate it, honestly. So, yeah. Pretty much. So, yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much that. So you may also notice that the goblins with the thunder effects, they look a bit more different. They now have like flip books on them instead of like the actual like particles that just show up every 1 second and disappear and stuff. So their effects have changed as well. It's not really noteworthy, but I guess they do look a lot better. So I guess there's that. So yeah. Now next up, I guess we can go over is the Redcliff. I guess we'll go over next up is the Splintered Retreat. Why is that's soft-centered? Has that always been off-centered? I have no clue. But yeah, anyways, next up is the Splintered Retreat. This is where you'll find the Splinter Commander, as usual, with his sword and the Splinter Knight, and yeah, you pretty much get the point, honestly. So yeah. And I also got Splinter Presence, she spawns there, but it's too late to spawn her now, so oh well. But yeah. Anyways, next up is the Sages of Enchanted Forest. There's nothing really much has changed here, honestly, apart from, I guess, new clothing for the angels. I'm not sure. I'll just say the original angels. The original angels were just. Let's just say they got caught. The original looks just got content deleted, so we had to change them up. We're just gonna keep at that, honestly. So yeah, it was weird. Even that was weird, honestly. So. But yeah, in order to protect us ourselves from the, you know how the you know who, but basically just to prevent some from weird shit from happening. But yeah, anyways, that's the Sage Enchanted Forest, and next up is the Peace Spring War Grounds. Peace Spring War Grounds is a bit different too, nothing really much too. The Peace Walkers do have some nowhere changes. They are a bit more darker, I guess. Well, they're not noteworthy, but I guess you could look at them. So, yeah, they're a bit darker and all that stuff. So, the core blocks, don't know the Peacekeepers have also a bit of interesting reworks too. Not really much. Same with the Priest Bringer. The Priest Bringer doesn't really have much of a change, honestly. It's really not worth no. It's not really worth looking at because he hasn't really changed much. But if you want to collect a sword, then feel free to. But yeah, anyways, then there's also a Mega Bringer too. The Mega Bringer has been replaced with like the Sin of Omega, I think I'm correct. That's what he's now called. So yeah, same boss but just different name. But yeah. Anyways, next up is the Gateway to the Clouds, where we have the eccentric Time Warriors, who have the revamped version of the Timekeeper Blade. So pretty cool, I guess. There's that. So yeah, now that's all with. We can also move to and also yes, Shark Time to spawn in the same place he had spawned before, which is the Sherlock's Island, which was made by Nordcaster. By the way, huge shout out to him. Yeah, I still think his creations think his creations are well made to this day. That in Shark Time's, but in case you guys are wondering, is this this tiny looking type of clock tower house type of thing. So yeah, there's that. Now let's go back to spawn, and I guess I'll show you the Empyrean, or not the Empyrean, but Dominus Empyreus, the Assassin of the Sky or something like that. So yeah, never much has changed with him except he has a more boss music. He has new boss music, I guess, but that's pretty much like with any other boss. So oh well. So yeah. Anyways, next up is the Gateway is the Caladan cluster. By the way, that was a Splinter cluster. Next up is the Caladan cluster. So let's go into the Caladan lands where we will find the Pure Souls and the Cloud Defenders, the typical things as usual. And yeah, and we also got the Cloud Chaser and also the statue, the living statue of the sky. Which actually, true fact about him, he actually was originally a secret in the game. However, though, because of how I wasn't able to make him to secret anymore, because mobs can basically chase you down, and it really wasn't worth keeping him a secret, so I just made him to an actual statue. He never really dropped anything, so it really wasn't worth keeping him. So, yeah, rest in peace to this beast. You'll be missed. But yeah, he's still here, just as a statue, so pretty cool, I guess. And yes, the Samurai of the Clouds will spawn there too, still as well. So just follow on that one. Next up is the Temple Grounds in the Sky. The Temple Grounds in the Sky is actually it's a bit different thing. There's nothing really new here, honestly. These guys have always been the same, honestly. The simple Spoon Seekers and all that stuff. So yeah, and the boss, typical. It's basically the same thing over and over again, honestly. Nothing really much has changed with these guys. So yeah, okay. Where's the weapon I actually used? Okay, there's. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, so that's pretty much the temple grounds in the sky and the temple in the sky. Next up is the Federate Forest. Really not much has changed there, honestly, so I guess I'll skip that. Actually, I will show one thing I guess I like, honestly. Not the Fairy Souls, but the Federated Knights. The Federated Knights have a new look on them. They're not really noticeable, but I feel like it adds a lot more depth into it. And you may not notice at first, but when you compare it to the original, it looks a lot more vibrant. It looks a lot more brighter, I guess you could say. A lot more brighter, I guess you could say. And you may also notice that the Dominus. Oh my God, bro, just came out of nowhere. I didn't think it would just spawn there everywhere, but yeah. Anyways, this is the Fairy Knight does have a cousin new Dominus that I decided to give him just because I felt like it. So yeah. And also don't forget we also got the Federated Lord, but he hasn't changed much either. So what's the point going over something that's already in the game that I went over a previous devlog? So yeah. Same with yours entering the sky. Sunset Airship really hasn't changed much. Same with the Sunset Airship Part 2, and well, okay. I guess I'll go over the Sunset Castle since there is one thing that kind of changed there. But I'm just gonna go over just for hell of it, honestly. But yeah. I guess one thing that did change is the boss himself. Well, okay, the mages. I guess we'll go over the mages. The mages originally had I guess we can talk about mages. Mages are now range. I guess. Okay, I'm just making up. I'm just making shit up. Honestly, you get the point. Ranges are the Sunny mages are ranged, and they haven't ranged. But I mean that's pretty much any other mob that has been ranged before. So yeah, take it or leave it, I guess. But either way, it's whatever. So. Can I just actually find my final back actually kills for once? Give me a second real quick. I find out actually kills. Where is my... Okay, I actually need to go out. I forgot this was... Okay. There we go. Finally. Okay, I think I'll finally get filtering. Y'all want to see a filter update? Let me know. I'd be more than happy to make that one happen because I'm getting tired of having to search up everything. Just find a quick sword to kill someone with. But yeah, and the next up is Zane, the Flashing Bolt. So, yep, there you have it. So yeah, this is pretty much the last part of the Rework. Apart from everything else, I think it's probably it, honestly. So yeah, with that out of the way, I think that's probably gonna be it for this video. That's pretty much that's all that has changed, honestly. Yeah, this work has been really fun. The past 4 months have been really amazing work on as Rework, and I'm just happy to see people enjoying the stuff I produce in the game or stuff I make and all that stuff. I mean, this game was meant to be a passion project, and I feel like it's good to think of. I feel like it's a good way to think about it because, would you rather do something that you're not happy with, or would you do something that you're happy with and you actually want to put effort into? That's how I think about it, honestly. And back then too, and I feel like with the mindset I have right now, I feel like it's helped a lot. It has helped me make this update possible. But then again, there are also a lot of other people who have helped out with this update too, which I will also like to mention a quick shout out to all a lot of people who have helped out with the rework, honestly. Like Temers, Speed Droids, Nordcaster, Sunblivion, Spaceman, the person who made all the revamped bosses and shit. NM Hero, he redid the he redid the Blast boss, yeah, and also Tekio, and just a lot of people. Honestly, it's nice. I'm happy to see a lot of people. I'm happy to see people enjoying helping out a bit. I mean, not like I've never really wanted to. I mean, sometimes it's okay to ask for help, I guess. So yeah, but basically what I'm trying to say is that I'm happy to have a lot of people. I'm just happy to have people help out a bit when they feel like, you know. And yeah, it's crazy how far this game has come since its beginning in 2021. It's still going pretty well as a passion project, honestly. But yeah, anyways, fans, probably this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. If you guys want to see more devlog, subscribe and all that stuff. And if you guys also want to see if you guys want some more updates, feel free to take a look at the link down below. I'll be playing, or if you guys want to take a look at the game for yourself, be sure to take a look at the link down below. I'm planning to do more updates in the future when I have more time and all that stuff. But until then, thanks for watching, and yeah, have a good one, guys. And stay sunny, as always. Like these sunny mages in the background.